Today, we're going to be talking about how to set goals. Now, the first thing that I actually want you to think about is what would you like to create? Because oftentimes we start to kind of look around and we start to think about like, what should we do? What should we achieve? What should we want to improve? What should we set as our goal? But when we do that, we can actually end up setting goals that we actually don't want to achieve, which can actually create that resistance. It's like I should be setting this goal versus setting a goal from like I want to because I personally want to achieve this goal. And so the first thing you can actually do to figure out what you want is actually just start writing down, here's some things that I want. I like to use, here's some things that I might want so that my brain doesn't feel like we have to do any of these things. Like, no, here's some ideas of some things that I might want. I also like to look at if I could create anything, what would I create? Because another thing that our brain does when it looks at setting goals is it actually wants to look at what does it think is possible? What does it think is going to be the easiest? What does it think that you can actually achieve? Instead of like, if we put all of that aside, if I could achieve anything, what would I want? Now, you might want to scale that goal back when you kind of look, because your brain might tell you to achieve these really, really big things, and that might feel so far away from where you're at. And so you might want to set your goal to be a little bit smaller so that you can kind of work toward that bigger goal. And then the next thing you can actually do is ask yourself why you want it, because this is going to make it very clear if this is the thing that you actually want or if this is the thing that you think you should do. Because when you ask yourself, why do you want this? You see all the reasons that you want it. And then you can look at those reasons and say, okay, do I like these reasons? Do they align with what I want to create? Do they align with the place that I want to be at? Then from there, when you have your goal set, I want you to think about how it feels, because you kind of want to get on that where it feels a little bit exciting, the doubt's starting to come up, but the doubt doesn't like take over. It's like, okay, I could kind of see like, yeah, I have some doubt, but I can actually see how I could actually potentially possibly achieve it. But if you check in with yourself and you feel like the doubt actually feels like so overwhelming, it feels like you can't take action, it feels like it's just overpowering, then you can always just back your goal up a little bit. Like if you have the goal to sign 20 clients and you're like, I don't know if I can ever do that, and all the doubts coming up, well, then start paring it back and see where you kind of get that feeling of like, okay, I'm excited. I think that possibly I could do this. Yes, some doubts coming up, but it feels like I could still take action through it. So that could look like I can sign 5 clients, or that can look like I can sign 1 client, because all you have to do is just achieve that first goal. Like, let's say you say 1, then you just have to sign 1, and then you just have to sign another one, and then another one. And then at some point, it will start to seem easier. Like if you already have 5, then it's easier for you to believe that you can sign 20. So it's just playing around with like, how do I feel when I set the goal this way? How do I feel when I set the goal that way? And then adjusting so that you can get yourself excited and motivated about the goal. And there's some doubt, but it's not over consuming where you're not wanting to take action toward it. Do you want to spend less time and energy going after your goals? Then you're going to want to take the right actions. And the way that you take the right actions is by not letting your brain pull you around to all these other things just so it can avoid doing the thing that needs to be done. So if you want to understand how to work with your brain so that you can take action so much easier, then go to successbykayla.com to get instant access to the free video, Why You Aren't Taking Action.